Is this real? Like you actually opened up this meeting?
Yeah, sure did, man. So just so everybody knows, this is my first time ever hosting a Zoom. So I don't know really the rules. I know I've been on them before where you're like, everyone's muted, no one can talk. I just want this to be pretty open. Kyle and I have a pretty funny story. We actually met we met through social media. Kyle, you share the story because I don't really remember
Yeah,
the details of it, but just share that story real quick if you don't mind.
that was fantastic. So like I was thinking about getting a cold plunge. This must have been right on the end of COVID, and I was looking for a YouTube video to show me how to do it on my own because I'm cheap, probably like a lot of us. And I watched David's video, and I had just won an ice barrel in a fitness competition, but it didn't have the engine or the chiller for it. And so I was like, oh, sweet, this guy spent like $100 in plumbing equipment. He spent like $1,300 on this chiller, and or I can get it used for. I put it all together and I messaged him. I was like, dude, your YouTube video was great. And it had like the YouTube video didn't have a whole lot of views, but I found him on Instagram. I was like, this saved me a ton of money. And I just want to know it was super helpful. And like maybe David, like 2 weeks later, just put this in perspective, he's in Florida, I'm in Texas. And I was at a deal at the Four Seasons in Florida. And I go into the workout room and I'm like, that's the dudes whose video I've been watching religiously to help me put together this ice bath. And I go up to him, he's like on the leg press. He was pressing like 400 pounds. And I was like, dude,
No, I wasn't.
you're the
That was
guy who saved me. So that's how we met. Yeah.
It was so cool, man. And just so everybody knows, quick backstory on me. Some of you probably know because I do share it pretty openly. I was in the car business since I was 15 years old. My dad's first generation success in the automotive industry. That was kind of the writing on the wall for me. I figured I would just be in the car business forever. It was just part of our life. It was part of our blood. It was something I grew up around, and I happened to be really good at it. So I had done that from 15 to 35. I had no intentions of being a influencer, social media person, health and wellness person. Heck, I barely played sports growing up. Like I tried everything. I loved doing the backyard ball and having fun, but I always enjoyed like fitness. Like I always felt good when I worked out. But I fell in love with board sports. I was a surfer, a wakeboarder, a wake skater, anything on a board. That was my passion. But being like health and wellness, like that wasn't something I grew up doing. I wasn't like my parents weren't doctors. I didn't grow up in medicine, or it just kind of like became something I was passionate about. And I started a YouTube channel in 2020. I was private on Instagram until about 2 years ago. 2020, I started a YouTube channel because COVID was coming and we were told we wouldn't be able to present our cars to customers. So I felt like I should just do walkarounds of our cars that we can send to people, make it easier for them to make the decision, give them the information they need to make the decision and go from there. So I learned a lot about YouTube, and I realized that these videos I was making, like they were being seen by way more people than just the customers we were going for. And yeah, like it was wild just to kind of like, oh, I'm connected to like the whole world. I didn't really know that. I didn't live in that world. Then I was like, a good friend of mine, his name's Sean Murray, he's a pro wakeboarder. Me and him are really good friends. And he's like, and I'm like, dude, like, don't you ever feel weird about putting like your life on YouTube? He's like, dude, I don't, because really the right people watch the videos, the people who care. Like most people aren't going to sit there and watch an 18-minute video on YouTube because like they have some weird infatuation with me. Like it's normally like they're trying to get value out of my stuff. And also it's cool to be able to go back and like watch these videos of my kids when they were younger, in 5 years. It's like our home videos. So I was like, ding, that's actually a really cool idea. So I started videoing me doing stuff with my family and putting it on YouTube more for me, like more for me and my family out of town, because you can only share so long of videos on like Instagram and Facebook. And one of the things I did is I built a cold plunge, and that's how me and Kyle met. And shortly after that, brands started reaching out to me, and I had no idea that this was going to be my life. And then somewhere around, actually, it was on my 35th birthday, I decided, you know what? I really enjoy this, the fulfillment I'm getting out of helping people around the world, because I had someone from Australia meet me at Clearwater Beach. Like he's like, dude, Bloody, I love your videos. I'm like, you do? I had like 1,000 subscribers at the time. He's like, I built a cold plunge just like yours. I'm here on holiday. And I'm like, this is freaking bonkers. Like how it's actually helping people. And it just gave me a new level of fulfillment. And I've never really worried about sharing. Like I've always been a pretty open book. So it became like a passion to just kind of keep sharing and keep helping. And then I never thought this would be my job or my income or be able to provide like a life. But it really has. God's opened up so many great doors. And the fact there's 20 people on this call tells me that he wants things to be shared. So for everybody on the call, that's a little bit of my story. And I'd love to hear everybody else's stories, but that would take up way longer than the time we have allotted. I wanted Kyle and I met. Kyle and I have known each other for a little bit. So anybody can chime in and ask a question. The goal for this is to just, I want to just share. That's it. I don't want anybody's money. I don't want anyone to sign up for my email newsletter. I don't want anyone to buy a book. I really just want to share and hopefully help one or two of you just kind of, I don't know, take the ball to the next yard line. Like if being a content creator is something that you have thought about doing and maybe you're curious how you can make money doing it, there's a lot of ways to do it. There's just so many. But I'm gonna let Kyle actually kind of like ask me the questions that he's put together because that was kind of the point to this. And I think his questions are gonna be similar to a lot of y'all's. And if you have a question, I don't have a hard stop. 45 minutes. I don't have a hard stop. I just put that out there. So if anybody wants to stay on longer and talk, I have until about 1:30, and I want to dedicate as much time as needed to help anybody on this call. But for now, I'm going to pass it off to Kyle. Let Kyle kind of steer the boat.
Yeah, and thanks. And that's what makes you such a great dude is your willingness to not gatekeep anything and help me. I mean, it's like the inception of our relationship was you putting information you understood and what you've learned, your knowledge out there for others to use with no financial gain or strings attached to it. So, thanks for using your gifts.
Thanks, bro.
Um, and just like very briefly, like I didn't really probably 6 months ago really put a whole lot of stuff out there on Instagram, and since then I've just been kind of open with mine, and my account's grown a lot just with putting workout videos and various stuff. And so the reason I asked David about this, and he came up with the idea to do this call was there's been a few brands that have like reached out to me that want to send products, and there's like this. I don't know if you guys feel like this, but there's this weird way of communicating like, hey, we're going to send you this. And they don't really like tell you what they want out of it. And then they're like, they want this content. And it feels like, oh man, maybe it's going to be for free. And, I've got another, but like a buddy who's really big in this business, like, don't do any of this stuff for free. So I think the hardest thing for me to conceptualize is like setting the terms of the deal and like who you're saying it's a loaded question, but like who to say yes and no to and just how to structure this stuff without seeming like a complete novice when it's proposed to you.
Man, this gets me so excited. So I also did a ton of free stuff. I still do a ton of free stuff. There's a lot of content you'll see on Instagram specifically from me that is free. And here's the way you position that, Kyle, is, and anybody else who's in a similar boat. You will have brands reach out to you if you are gaining enough attention in the right audience for them. And they have tools. Like the brands actually have tools where they can see back end analytics. They can see a lot of information about who's watching your stuff. And the cool thing about what we all do on this call is, as a content creator, is we do business in reverse. Some of you may have heard that before. But imagine a world where you're a brand and you make orange rafts, and they're inflatable rafts. And I'm just looking at one out my window. And there's somebody who literally does content on orange inflatable rafts all the time. So the people watching his content are pretty used to seeing that. Well, they have to go and try to figure out where the people who like orange rafts are. And that takes a lot of money. That takes a lot of resources. That takes a lot of creativity. Where now they can just go and find on Instagram or YouTube, like, let's go find someone who's talking about either our competition or our product already. And let's reach out to them and say, hey, we want to send you some product and we want you to just talk about our product. Now, two things you can do. One, you can take all the products you want for free and tell them, hey, I am not committing to doing any content for your product because I don't really know it yet. I would like the opportunity to play around with it, maybe test it out. Like me being in the wellness industry, I get a lot of products, a lot of supplements. Probably 8 out of every 10 supplement that's sent to me, you'll never see. Like I won't post about it because it is just junk. And if you see me post about it, it's because I have tried it. I've looked at the ingredients, I've researched it a little bit, and they seem good. Like it's worth sharing to my audience because at the end of the day, I don't want anybody to ever watch a video of mine. And maybe in the past I was different, but like as I've grown and this has actually became my career, I don't want anybody to watch a video of mine, see me doing something, and then do it and then be like, this absolutely freaking sucks. Like I don't want that to happen. I want people to have a great experience with any product that I ever talk about. So when someone sends you something, for like an example of I saw your Fisher Price thing, right? Like that's pretty cool. So Fisher Price reached out to you. That's a big brand, right? Like they have a big budget. But is that your audience? Like is that what you want to be known as? Is like the Fisher Price guy,
If it gets me a new Jeep Wrangler for
right?
my daughter and maybe like a dollhouse, then I'm all in for it. But like and that's a great example. Like I sure, like if I'm at this point where it's like, okay, I'm sharing all this like just really Kyle Kokonos' life of like, here's what I'm doing working out, trying to be a dad, stay fit, in your 30s. But like, do I deviate to this path of like, oh, cool, there's like kind of some because that was like the funniest thing that I posted was this Fisher Price thing, listening to it while I'm running. But like I have a couple creative, funny ideas that are kind of like it if they send me a couple things. But again, like you said, I don't want to be the Fisher Price guy. I'm not like a baby product pusher.
Well, let me tell you something. So we've all probably heard people say niche down, niche down, niche down. As soon as I left my job in automotive, I wasn't making enough money to pay my bills. And I wasn't seeking a bunch of, I gave it all to God. I was like, God, if the goal of this is for me to just lay everything down at your feet and literally sell everything I have, because the good news was I wasn't in like debt. I had a little, I was decent in everything that I have. And if the end of the day I had to sell everything I had and go move to a mud hut in Costa Rica, me and my wife were cool with that. The rest of my family probably would have thought we were nuts, probably still do, but we would have been cool with that. That was fine. We gave it to him. And he opened up enough great people that I got to meet, enough companies and brands that wanted to work together and have long-term relationships, which was great. But I never niched down. And when I went to Vid Summit, which was like a month after I quit, I was new to this whole YouTube world, new to all this like thumbnail creative design, all this stuff. Everything was new to me. And everyone told me to niche down. They're like, dude, just become the cold plunge guy. Like that's you. Like that's your audience is all about cold plunges. Just become the cold plunge guy. Just double down on cold plunge content. And I said, no, I don't want to be the cold plunge guy. I have more to offer the world than just how to build a cold plunge and which cold plunge is right to buy. I've been blessed to learn a lot about marketing, a lot about strategy, a lot about helping people, and I want to be able to do all of it. And that's why my channel is David Moss Jr. It's not Cold Plunge Guy. Your channel is Kyle, is well, not your YouTube channel, but your Instagram is your name, right? So you figure out the three to five things that you just feel want to be the theme of your life. And if it's you're a family man who loves fitness and you happen to be really freaking good at it, then let Fisher Price jump in your life. Why not, right? Like it's not like you don't have kids. Like if you didn't have kids and Fisher Price was sponsoring you and you were talking about all this Fisher Price stuff and you didn't have any kids, that would be weird. That'd be
Yeah.
odd. That'd be super weird. So
Yeah.
I say go for it, but I want you to reframe the question a little bit more on like, are you in conversations with them now? And are you trying to work out a deal where it makes sense financially?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a great segue into kind of what I'm thinking next is like from my perspective, I didn't take quite the plunge you have. I own a business. I started a couple years ago and it's good. It's what provides for my family and things are going great. And like this social media thing has kind of just caught me like in the past 5 months. But now like so I have some like a brand's attention, like Fisher Price. And I have a couple funny ideas I could do like this dad fitness stuff with some of their products, like and they've asked to repost my video. Now my next question is like I don't know how to suggest an idea. I don't know how to without I don't have those videos ready. I really don't know how to propose something like that. So like does David have a template that he uses or a strategy that he uses? That's what I'd be curious about.
So in that scenario, yeah, I don't really have like a template I propose. I did. So let me backtrack. Let me back up a second. So you're in a position now where brands are reaching out to you. That's amazing. I would love to like open the conversation and have other people kind of like vote. I don't know how to do that, so we won't. We'll just kind of mentally everybody, are brands approaching you, or are you hoping that brands will either start approaching you or that you want to approach brands? I want to talk about that in a second, but since brands are approaching you, that's a really cool position to be in. Now, do you have a track record to propose to these brands? Like, so to Fisher Price, do you have like, so you posted a reel, they obviously liked it. They got it, it got their attention to where they reached out to you. That's amazing, right? Someone's in the waiting room named Hacker 16 Pro Max 2. I'm gonna admit them. I'm gonna let them in. We might all just got hacked, but that's fine. Um,
No.
I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, so what I started doing, and this was because when I was in the car business, we would have marketing companies come in and say, "Hey, like we did this advertisement for 30, for 30 days, and we sold 20 cars off of our advertising." And we're like, "Really? Like our numbers didn't increase. We didn't see anything increase." And they're like, "Yeah, the attributions are they checked, they clicked on our thing." And we're like, "Well, they also clicked on our website and they spent an hour on our website and they had a FaceTime call with the general manager." There's so many other things. So I learned like, okay, I want to start owning attribution. I want to start owning each individual click so that I can see and sense when a customer is actually on a web page that I got them to. And I'm kind of transitioning now from car business to like, I learned that we had to really own our data. So as soon as I started like thinking, okay, this is something I want to do, I researched the crap out of links because like Ice Barrel was one of the first brands to reach out to me. And kind of like you, Kyle, I didn't know what to do. So they're like, "Hey, we want to send you an Ice Barrel." I'm like, "Really? Okay." So they sent me an Ice Barrel. I got this Ice Barrel. I know what I was supposed to do with it. I thought I was supposed to do a video and then send it back. So I got this Ice Barrel, I did this video, and I literally emailed the guy. I was like, "Hey, like I got everything back in the box. How do I ship it back to you?" And they're like, "No, it's yours." And I was blown away. I'm like, "What?" So flash forward, I'm still in the car business. I'm still working. I have zero intentions of leaving, right? And all of a sudden, that video that you watched of the Ice Barrel DIY starts getting some traction. Meanwhile, I'm still private on Instagram, and this guy messages me. His name's Shervin. Shervin Shares. He's a big YouTuber now. He messaged me. He's like, "Dude, your video is really good, but you don't have any links. So like, you're helping people, but you're not because now they can't go and click on any links to get the product that they need so they can do it. You probably have an affiliate link with Ice Barrel." And I'm like, "I don't know what any of this stuff means, bro. I have a job. I don't need this." So he explains to me, like, become an Amazon affiliate, put those links in your description. Go ahead and sign up for the Ice Barrel affiliate, put that link in your description and just see what happens. I'm like, "All right, fine." So I did it. And then like month one, I made like $200. And I was like, "Holy crap, that's pretty cool." Like $200 to not do anything else. Like the video already lived online. All I did was put the links there. But then this is what happened. Ice Barrel decides to change their affiliate platform. So that link that I had on a few videos is no longer valid. I had to like go back in and change where the link went. Then it happened again. And it was like, wow, this is not going to work. I know there's some brands, I know there's some things out there like Tiny URL and Bitly and all these other ones. Tiny URL is what I use, and it's amazing. So I own where all of my links go. That's why if you ever notice on any of my videos and stuff that oh, Shervin's there. Shervin's on. Hey, Shervin. Um, Thank you for joining, buddy. So anyway, I own my links and I have dmgr.co/ whatever it is. That's what you'll see. That's what my audience will see. But if they ever change where the link needs to land, all I have to do is go into TinyURL, change where that links land, and I don't have to go and change my link in all these other posts and all these many chats and all these places that we have all of our links. Not only do I own where my links land, like so Edge Theory Labs went out of business. They went BK. I had that link in like 400 videos. That would have taken me days to go in and change or delete. So instead, I just went into TinyURL and changed the landing page to my website. So if someone accidentally clicks that link, in 2 years, that the company doesn't even exist anymore, they don't go to a dead site or a site that the company went BK. They end up on my site. They end up at davidmossjr.com, which, is just a link tree with, I don't have all the crazy stuff that a lot of other people do. And two things happen. One, I own where my links go. So if a brand decides to pull a fast one on me or something, I can literally change where any of my links land at any time. Two things is I get all the data. So I can see for you with Fisher Price, like if you own, kyle.co/Fisher Price, and you do a couple posts that aren't paid because they're probably not going to pay you yet. Maybe they will, and they're not paid. You at least have some data that you own, and you can be like, hey, cool thing is last month we did one reel and I got 50 people to visit your website. I don't know if they purchased anything. And obviously that's the next step. The next step is getting commission on purchases and stuff like that. But owning your data, owning your clicks, owning your links is step one to everybody on this video. I don't care if you have a 100 followers, 100 million followers. You need to own where your links go. I will say that till the day I die. I don't care about anything else. Own where your links go, because if you don't, then somebody else does. And it needs to be
Mhm.
you because it's your audience that's seeing all this, right? So the first thing, Kyle, is I would own where your links go, but also that gives you the track record so that when new brands approach you, you can be like, hey, I did a 1 month one-off deal with Fisher Price, big deal. Also, if they're offering to use your content on their large platform, you got to also kind of balance. That's pretty good for you. You know what I mean? Like there's also a little bit of an incentive to having brands like, for example, Rogue Fitness. They're the biggest brand in wellness, right? They featured my backyard gym on their YouTube channel and their Instagram. Guess how much they paid me? Zero. They paid me nothing. But to me, that was worth me. And I had to film everything. I had to film it all. It was a production, but they literally showed my stuff to their entire audience on all their platforms. That was worth something. That kind of gave me some value. So there's
Yeah.
that little bit of a balance. Like Fisher Price is a big brand. It's not a brand nobody else has ever heard of. So it might be worth just kind of exploring some non-paid things with them in the very beginning. Get a couple free products for your kids. You're going to enjoy them anyway. You're going to buy the products anyway. So, and you're not signing a 1 year contract. Don't sign a contract or an exclusivity with anybody. That's rule number two. Do not sign exclusivities with anybody.
This is great. I mean, this is like the stuff I don't know how everyone else feels, but I'm like afraid to talk about it and I don't know who to talk to about it. And just thank the Lord you're willing to chat
Talk
about
to
all
me,
this stuff.
man. There's 23 people on this call, and I am just so like my heart is full because I just that just means a lot. It means that there's 23 people on this call who truly care, and it's awesome.
Kyle, I have a
Yeah.
question. What is your Instagram handle? I couldn't find you.
Yeah, I should probably work on that. It's Kid Koki, KIDCOKI. Probably, I guess I could probably put it
Got it.
in the
Dude,
chat or something.
everybody should go in the chat and post your Instagram handle, and we should all go follow each other. Like, why not?
I think that's a great idea. I'm gonna do that right
And
now.
and don't ghost follow. Like, you guys heard that ghost following? Like, I have 96,000 followers, but most of my reels get like 2,000 views. What the heck? And
Dude,
then a
it's
reel
a
I posted yesterday is like 300,000 views. Instagram is a pain in the butt. I think most of you guys agree with that. Their algorithm, they just tried to change it to like a YouTube algorithm where each piece of content is its own thing. Here's the problem. You can't really search for any content. So why would they do that? It's not a search engine. It's a social media site. So
Mhm.
Yeah, that's another super frustrating thing. I mean, I think you and I chatted about it a month or two ago, but like you'll post something and you're like, yeah, this is really cool. Like for instance, I posted that I'd done a couple 100 milers last year and had some big finishes and races, and it was probably the worst performing video I've put out since I started doing this stuff. I've only put out like 25 or something of them, 20 of them, but it just blew my mind. It was like, hey, this is actual real like competition and
stuff,
it
dude.
gets no love and blows my mind. But I'm
Bro,
fulfilled.
here's the other thing. I want to, so Steve, I want to let you ask a question. Go ahead and pop in here, unmute yourself. Um, I do want to say this too. Once again, I wasn't planning on this actually working out as my career. I had no intentions of this actually working out. So my Instagram was private and I didn't really post anything on Instagram. My Instagram was very family-ish, and then my YouTube was very health and wellness stuff that I was doing. And that's kind of where my focus went, was on YouTube, because everything was evergreen. Like I would make a video on a product that was still relative or relevant a year later, and I would still get affiliate income from that. I would still make money from that. Instagram, I feel like I would put the same time into, and if it wasn't entertaining enough to the viewers, like it wasn't getting any love and it wasn't converting anything. And that's the other thing about Tiny URL, is I can see if people click my link from YouTube, my website, Instagram, Facebook, text share. So you can see where your conversions are coming from and your clicks are coming from. Guys, my Instagram audience is double what my YouTube audience is. 95% of my link clicks, and I have a lot of them, come from YouTube. So I can promise you, like, if Instagram is our main source of like building income, it's gonna be hard and it's gonna take a crap ton of work, a lot of it. Like Gary Vee talks about that all the time. Like it takes so much work to create Instagram reels that actually generate income. Like if Instagram was my only source of income, I would still be in the car business. But YouTube, you create value packed educational content, or maybe even it's a little bit more long form, like the stuff that you're training for, Kyle. People are the right audience is gonna find you on YouTube. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take some consistent posting, but YouTube, I would say if you're not on YouTube, if you're not generating or creating content on YouTube right now, you you're I'm not gonna say you're missing out, but you're missing out. Like YouTube is where a lot of wealth is created. Steve, you have your hand raised, bro. Go ahead and unmute yourself and ask away.
Hey, my brother, I am in the car, so that's why my video is not on. So I apologize to everybody, but I'm trying to be safe and focus on the road. Real quick, also, since I am in the car, anybody that does follow me through the chat, I did voice memo myself in there. I'll follow you back, but I'm not going to work on that right now. So, two questions, David, and obviously, I'm grateful that you sit and you have these conversations, and you are an open book. The first one ties to the niching down piece, right? You mentioned it, it was brought up when Kyle was talking about kind of picking like 4 or 5 things that are in your wheelhouse that like are authentic to you and like you have passion around and you want to post about. I guess I'm curious how you came to what those 4 or 5 things were for you. And then a follow up was it will tie to the family, and I'll ask that afterwards. So let me start there. How did you come up with your 5 and decide to kind of these are my pillars that I'm going to walk through and stand on?
Great question. So I think everybody, when I quit the car business, I think everybody thought I would either just end up back in the car business, or if I tried social media, I would do it around like what Andy Elliott's doing, and he's a good friend of mine, where it's more training and helping other people in the car business, blah blah blah. I found that I wasn't super passionate about it. Like I drive a basic GMC truck. I never really cared about fancy cars or fast cars. Like I just need a truck so that I can throw plants in the back. It wasn't like my passion. I really enjoyed health and wellness. I loved the feeling of feeling better. I love the feeling of recovering faster and being able to be there for my kids, and like be able to throw a backflip, like I'm 36 years old and I landed my first backflip. That was so cool. And like documenting that journey and like doing it with my family was so fun. So a few things I did to decide is like, one, I really liked health and wellness, not fitness. I'm not the fittest guy on this call. I'm definitely not the fittest guy you guys follow or see on social media, but wellness and recovery and health, like I'm in. Like biohacking, I'm in. A diet that actually makes me feel energized and excited, but I can actually eat food that makes me feel good. I'm in. Like I'm all about it. And I'll share my actual journey. You can also monetize that. Like there's products that go alongside that. So like it was a passion that I could also monetize. And I think that needs to be your pillar number one. Like number one, if you are going to niche it down to like 2 to 3 or 3 to 5 things, find something you're really passionate about that you can also monetize. The second thing is like family and an active lifestyle. Like I want to get into some travel stuff. Like I filmed an entire vlog with my son. I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel. I know it's not going to perform, but I'm going to do that for me. And I really don't care. Like I don't have a viral video on YouTube. My most viewed video on YouTube is a short of my daughter doing an aerial silks trick. It's like 300,000 views. So none of my videos go viral, but they make a lot of money. It's insane. But yeah, health and wellness is like my thing. I'm an advocate for health and wellness, family and active lifestyle, travel with family. That's probably my second big thing. In faith and personal growth, I want to help people, but I am not ashamed to share that I love Jesus and I gave it all to him and he's blessed me. Like none of this is me. I'm not the smartest guy at all, but I gave it all to him and he's super blessed me and I'm super grateful for that. And I'm going to continue on just telling everybody. So I figured out what I'm passionate about, what I can monetize and what I wanted to do. Like I think a lot of creators get burnt out. Like I have friends, and I don't know if he's on this call. He said he might jump in. I don't even want to say his name, but he's got like 10 million subscribers on YouTube, and he has an entertainment channel, like super fun. He, like, and I are good friends. We talk all the time, and he's not burnt out, but he like they have to really like repurpose a lot of the same content and they have to like really work hard to generate that next big idea that's going to go viral. Look at Mr. Beast. Like he just had an interview with the Diary of a CEO where he shared that his mental health is horrible. Like he is like on the brink of a mental breakdown every day. Like that's no life. That's not the life I want to live. I don't care any of that stuff. Like I want to be there for my kids. I want to be able to provide for my family, and I want to help people around the world. That's kind of like my mission. But that's how I niche down, is I figure out what I liked, what I could monetize, and just what I wanted to do. So I have no burnout. Like I'm constantly making content that I feel is fun. Hope that answered your question.
No, absolutely. And again, I think these are reflective moments that I'm going through. And obviously, fortunately, you and I have had some conversation around it. The one follow up that I have to you is around, particularly around the family piece, right? As a husband and as a father, I it's for me, it's a delicate balance. And my wife and I talk about how much we want to show or feature our kids on Instagram or social medias, and because of again, there's so many like scary things out there. And I guess how do you um how do you balance that, or how do you manage that, and how did you and your wife decide that, hey, yeah, the kids are going to be, part of this and all that, we're okay showing their faces? Because I think there's a lot of conversations that are happening with parents with that right now.
So I'll give you my heart on that, and my wife's stance on that. Have you ever been to like a park or a theme park and seen somebody have their phone out taking
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
picture? So I think the conversation, like our kids are already being documented. They're in the background of pictures at school and videos at the park, and what like there's cameras on every house, ring cam. Like we are our digital landscape of our face is already out there. Like there's no hiding it unless you live in a bubble or under a rock. You're already being documented by people. I would rather be the one documenting my kids. Like I would rather be the one who's publishing. This is my child. I have friends who don't believe in social media, and their kids are the profile picture of some random page, and they can't get it down. Like their kids' faces are, they didn't want them to be on social media. And now there's some other fake family's fake kid. So to me, it's like, I don't know, like I would rather document my child as my child so everybody knows this is my kid and I love my kid, and I'm not afraid to talk about how much I love my kid, and I'm not afraid to show that my kid's pretty freaking cool. This is my kid. And I pray for their protection every single day. I pray for my protection every single day. It is a crazy world. But at the end of the day, like sharing your family and what you're doing, you're not doing it for others, you're doing it for yourself. Like I don't ever want to just share my kid in a weird way to generate some sort of fame. I don't know if you guys saw, I had a video go viral. I had like 25 million views of my kids working out. I had no idea that video was gonna go viral on Instagram. Like no idea. I'm not ashamed of it. We live in our freaking bathing suits. Like we live in our bathing suits. We're here in Florida and we're always in the lake. And if you followed me for any bit of time, pretty much always in our bathing suits in a cold plunge, a sauna, or the lake. If there's some weirdos out there, there's some freaking weirdos out there, whether you like it or not. Like, I don't know. I feel like I would rather be the one documenting my children as like, hey, these are my kids, and we can go back and watch, we can go back and see, and the memories can pop up, and we be like, oh my gosh, look how cute they were 5 years ago. Now they're driving. I don't know. I have like a weird firm stance that like, I don't know, like you see where I stand. I've been pretty clear.
No, I appreciate that. And again, I think that everybody, in much with like you were saying, everybody has a choice with, whether they niche down or not, how they show up. And again, these are all factors that, again, I consider, and I'd imagine other people do. So you want to control the narrative and the story of your family and put it out there, and you're doing it through the lens of joy and God and faith and family and health and wellness. And, that's good enough for you. So I appreciate that. And
Absolutely.
I'll let somebody else chime on in.
Hey, Jacob, would you mind chiming in? Because I know you just had a video hit 100 million views, right?
Yeah, man, kind of wild. So in April, well, backtrack before that, I watched the Masters with my 1-year-old son at the time, all day on Sunday. Like he actually napped on my chest, fell asleep watching the Masters, and ever since he watched golf for the first time, he was hooked. And last April, we put a little plastic golf club in his hand from Target. And I literally like broke it over my knee because it was too long for him. So I broke it over my knee and put like a duct tape grip on it. And we put it in his hand, put a plastic ball down, and he just rips the ball. My wife and I look at each other like, whoa, that wasn't normal, right?
I've
For
seen
a,
those videos, bro. He's a natural. It's insane.
for a kid that just turned 2. Well, I posted that video and it got something like 14 million views. And
Crazy.
I posted one at consecutive, like the next consecutive video I posted right after that got 3.5 million views. And I was like, what is happening right now? And then all of a sudden, all these little golf companies are reaching out saying, hey, let us send you these hats and these clubs and this club bag or whatever. And I'm just doing everything for free, accepting things for free. Like, babe, what in the world? This video just got us a free set of clubs. That's sick. And I started creating reels for them and just tagging them for free. Well, it got to the point where it started to get overwhelming. Like the video I just posted 4 or 5 days ago is at 111 million views right now,
Insane, dude.
which is absurd. But I look at David Moss and he's, it doesn't matter that your views aren't exploding on Instagram. You're getting paid. I'm like, I just hit 111 million views on my, that's why I'm on this call today. I am making zero money on,
That's insane, bro. Let's change that. Let's fix that right away.
would love to.
Let's fix that right away. So you're getting a lot of
basically,
product.
we need to have children that can hit a golf ball fresh out the womb like 50 yards.
It's numerically, it's kind of like, it stresses me out a little bit. Like 111 views, that is a third of the entire US population. If you
Yeah, that's insane, bro.
But obviously you can get multiple views from one account.
So let's talk about that real quick. I know a lot of people have heard, if you're on this call, hopefully you've heard some of this stuff before or in a certain way. A lot of people talk about like owning a product, owning your own brand, which is cool, right? Like you want to have your own brand if you can. Like Mr. Beast has Feastables and Ryan Trahan has like his little candies and all that. That's really cool. And maybe that's the end goal. I don't really have my own brand. And I like it. Like I kind of like not having to manage the people and the inventory and all that stuff, but everybody has their thing, right? What I will say is right now, like you're on the wheel. You're in the rat race right now of you have to keep making this viral Instagram content to keep the views up. And you're getting free product, which is awesome as long as it's product that you want. Like if you're getting a bunch of free product and it's junk and it's stuff you would never need, don't post about it and don't commit to it. Just be like, hey, if you want to send stuff, here's my address and have them send it. If you like it, then maybe post, but never commit if it's just for product. And never commit to a paid deal unless it's a product you already know you like and it's a product that you feel comfortable sharing with your audience. Because remember, like all it takes is for you to do one stupid thing on Instagram and that following just stops and those views just kind of stop. And next thing you know, like you kind of you lost it. So you want to stay authentic and you want to be able to talk about products and stuff that you like. But what you need to start doing is trying to channel some of that, like make some long form. Like I took my 2-year-old son golfing and he beat me. Like make a 8 to 15 minute YouTube video and do that once a month even. I don't know. Do you have a YouTube channel, Jacob?
I don't yet. And that's literally one of the things I wrote down in my notes was I got to get on YouTube.
And you don't have to go crazy. Like I think people get a little freaked out by YouTube thinking they've got to edit and do all this really crazy stuff. Guys, I made really good money only filming and editing from my iPhone 13 using the free iMovie app. I never even had a laptop. Like the laptop's new. The laptop, the camera, all this stuff is new just because it's became a little bit easier. But like I made decent money, better than most in America, filming off an iPhone 13 mini and doing everything from my iPhone. So it doesn't have to be crazy. And you could just film you and your son just playing golf, like, having some fun, and then start channeling that 100 million view audience to your YouTube channel where you have a little bit more, it's a little more evergreen, which means it's going to last a lot longer. Like that 100 million views, like that's insane. Pin that to your top reels, but after, 5, 6 weeks, it's kind of gone. Like they kind of just disappear and you have to do it all over again. And for what, right? Like you said, you made no money off that reel. So I don't make a ton of money off of Instagram, and I really, and I have a decent size audience on it. I would say like the number one thing you should do if you're on this call and you want to start making a little money as a social media is figure out what you're passionate about, what you can monetize. And you're not going to make a bunch of money in the very beginning. And it shouldn't be the goal. Like obviously that is the goal, but it shouldn't be the goal. The goal should be to help give people value because that's what's going to keep them coming back. That's what's going to keep them subscribing and engaging and caring. And
Question.
the brands will find you. Go ahead.
So if I'm editing all my videos on Instagram, right? I just
Mhm.
have a theory. I just have a theory like everybody's pushing me to get on TikTok. I don't like TikTok, but I
Right.
tried. I tried, and I'm probably gonna delete my TikTok just because I just don't like it. But I tried 4 videos that went absolutely, nuts on Instagram, but I edited them on Instagram. Does the algorithm at TikTok recognize that I edited them on Instagram and not like that and suppress my content?
I edit most everything on CapCut now, and
Okay.
I feel the same way. When I edit things on CapCut and post it to Instagram, the engagement is lower, and when I edit anything on Instagram, it's always higher. So I would say yes. I don't know if anyone's ever publicly said that, but it feels that way, right? Anybody else agree? Like, does that feel?
It's totally happened for me. CapCut being taken away, actually, I lost CapCut because I got a new phone, and
Mm.
now I've been editing solely on Instagram, and it's a pain. But my views have definitely. I mean, I've gotten more views, I will say.
hmm That's
It's
my
so
system. Like that's the system I know. Can you edit pretty easily on YouTube?
I use CapCut. I use
Okay.
CapCut to edit everything. To edit everything now. Coffee grinds in my throat. If I don't die. That'd be funny. David Moss dies on a Zoom. Um, but yeah, you can edit very easily on CapCut. On a laptop, it's so simple. I also like you can hire an editor on Fiverr for so cheap. Like you could pay like $50 to have a pretty decent video edited on like Fiverr. I have 2 full-time editors now for my YouTube. They're not that cheap, but like you could find some pretty cheap editing and like for your YouTube stuff, it might be worth it. I know you're not making money yet, which is crazy. You really should. Like I kind of want to ask that question. So brands are just sending you free product and you're just taking it. Are you committing to like a reel or like what's that typical conversation go like?
No, not anymore. I mean, that was the first few months. Um, and now the most common message is it feels like there's hundreds of agencies out there that reach out to the owner of these viral videos and say, hey, we can offer you a 60-40 profit split. We have the ears of Lad Bible, ABC News, all these major platforms. It's always the same message.
Yeah, never accept any of those. Just auto
They're all
delete.
scams, aren't they? Or no?
They're not they're dumb. They're just dumb. Own your
Okay.
content. Never give your content anyway. If someone wants to whitelist, like Kyle was saying, they wanted to use their if they want to whitelist and post you to their platform, a big brand, that's cool. Like I did
Yeah.
that with Rogue. I thought that was really cool. They didn't pay me for it. But now like I have brands like you guys probably see the ads all the time. I see them and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, someone paid for this." Where they take a reel that I made like 3, 4 months ago and they're like, "Hey, we want to whitelist this reel you made." I'm like, "Okay, cool. My whitelisting fees $500 a month or more, like it could be whatever you guys feel comfortable with." I mean, most brands will pay $500. And if you get like 4 whitelist deals, like that's 2 grand a month. Like that's some of your bills. It doesn't have to be. And I have a friend who's got 1 million followers on Instagram. I don't think he's on this call. We were just talking a little bit ago. And he lives off of one-off deals. Like he gets like big deals with huge, like Dick's Sporting Goods and stuff, and they pay him like 40 grand to make a reel. Just so you guys know, that's the kind of money that's in content creation. Like if you have a big enough converting audience, like $40,000 to make a reel, and they don't care how it converts. Like it's just you made it, you shared it, they paid you. Insane, right? So us, like with our little audiences, like you could ask for 250 to whitelist a reel, or for hey, if they want you to make a product or a video using their product and it's a product you're cool with, if you're already committing to it, be like, hey, like my typical fee is $1,000 plus the product plus commission. And they'll be like, ooh, that's a little high. And be like, well, here's what I'll do. Let's do 3 months. Let's do a 3 month contract. Instead of doing $1,000 per reel, let's do $500 per reel. You're getting a better deal and you're getting 3 times the content. That's my strategy. So Kyle, to answer your question, when a brand reaches out to me, I have a manager now, but this is what I taught her is I don't really care for like the one-off deals. If it's a brand I already like if it's a new brand and I don't know if it's good, like I won't talk about it until I have the opportunity to play with it and see if it's worth it. And I always want to talk to the founder or the creator, but I'm in a different niche now. So now like with everybody, you could all start a cold plunge company tomorrow, buy the stuff from Alibaba and put your name on it and sell it. That's not like worth it to me. I get those offers every day. I don't even respond to them anymore. It's got to be a brand or a product that has like a really cool story. There's got to be something interesting about it that my audience, I think, deserves to see. That's how I kind of vet it. But then once I do, I have my rates and like I'll share my rates. And on my rates will make some brands be like, oh gosh, that's like full budget for like 3 months. I can't afford that. And I'll be like, hey, well, here's the deal. Instead of doing just one video, which I don't really like doing anyway, let's do 3 to 6 months. I'll cut my rate down to half or whatever, but it's every month. Now they win because they get 3 to 6 times the content. And I win because I get 3 to 6 months worth of a salary plus commission, right? And it's on a product I was already going to talk about. So like we all win. The brand gets the exposure, we get paid so we can pay our bills and continue doing this, and the audience gets to see a product that's worth seeing. Everybody wins.
I have a question.
Ask it.
How do you decide like what you post to YouTube versus what you post to Instagram? Like, do you have?
Great question. Great question. So I have, there's two ways to look at it. I have rates. So like if it's a product that I'm getting paid to make videos on, if it's a brand that we've committed to like a 3 or 6 month contract and I do like one video a month, I never sign an exclusivity. I never take a script, and I always ask for full rights to say whatever I want to say and topic whatever I want to topic. So like, for example, like Desert Plunge, we started out, they reached out to me and they wanted to do a review. I'm like, well, I'll do a review, but I really like, I already know your product. I like your product. I would like to do more than just a review. I'd like to share how to maintain it, how to keep the water clean, like maybe even some strategies on cold plunging. So for me, I like to make longer form educational videos that help people like, oh, I didn't know by head dunking, I get extra benefits, or by doing the sauna first, or whatever it is. So on YouTube, if it's if it's answering a question, I love making a video on YouTube. On Instagram, those don't really perform. Like if I take that same 8 to 10 minute video and try to put it down into a 30 second to 60 second reel, it doesn't really perform well. And by performing well, it doesn't generate any engagement. No clicks, nobody cares, nobody looks at the product. So I try to separate it. YouTube is for answering questions. Instagram is for getting views and entertaining people. Like no one really cares about all the education on Instagram. That is what I'm seeing. They care about, unless I'm answering a quick question. Like I do get DMs all the time, people asking me like, oh, you leave your gym equipment outside in Florida, doesn't it get rained on? I get that DM twice a day. So I made a 8 second reel yesterday and I walked outside. I said, people always ask me if I leave my stuff out in the rain, and it was raining. I said, so yes. 8 second reel. It has like 300 something thousand views this morning. Crazy. That would not be a great YouTube video.
Yeah.
So it's just like quick answer to a quick question.
Okay.
Also on YouTube, most people don't watch YouTube. Most of my audience, they don't watch YouTube for entertainment. Like I'm not just going to sit there and entertain everybody and like have these challenges. And like most of it is answering a question or bottom of funnel. Like somebody's like, I want a cold plunge. They're pretty expensive. Let me figure out what's the best one to buy, or is this one worth checking out? They go to YouTube, they search for it. A video of mine pops up and I answer the questions that most people have. That's kind of how I look at YouTube, is like, what questions would I have if I was looking at purchasing this product? And from being in the car business, I had to learn that. Like people would come in and have no idea what kind of car they would want. And my job was to try to figure out what problems they had and if we had a car that solved them. And if we did, is it in their budget? There's so many little like questions that narrow it down. And that's what I try to do on YouTube. So somebody could literally sit behind the camera or behind the screen, not know me at all, but I'm answering the questions that they have because they're questions that I have. And they're like, hey, I like that. I'm going to buy this product. This guy helped me make the decision. I'm going to use his discount code. Doesn't cost me any more money. He gets a commission. We all know that. I get a discount. I'm happy with it. And I feel good about my purchase. So YouTube for me, most of my videos, as you know, are going to have a product that is going to be like the catalyst of the video. It may not be the video is, on this Relight water bottle, but it's going to be about hydration, and Relight's just going to be the catalyst. It's just going to be a part of the video. And it's a supplement that I've used for years and believe in, and they just happen to support this channel. So it's kind of wrapping it all in, like you don't want to get on YouTube and start touting every product that you get sent to you if you have an affiliate and be like, everyone buy this because it's the best. And then 2 days later, you have a new product that's just like it. And you're like, just kidding, guys, everyone buy this because it's the best. On YouTube, you want to educate people and show them options because they're not going to scroll through your videos. They're going to find your video on the landing page or because they Googled the specific product that you're talking about or whatever it is. And they'll probably never see another one of your videos again. So you don't need to make a bunch of videos that are like complimenting each other. Just share why this water bottle is a good water bottle for you because of the hydration powder that's in it, blah, 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 blah. And then in 3 months or 6 months, if you have another product that's not the same, but kind of similar, you can make a video on that and just share what is good about that. It's not saying, hey guys, Relight sucks this month. Here's the new hydration powder. It's like, no, Relight is freaking great. I love Relight. I always will. But guess what? Not everybody likes Relight. It's a very salt forward hydration powder. Some people like Liquid IV. I don't, and I won't talk about it. But let's just say Liquid IV was a product a lot of people were asking me to review. I would do a legit review. I would say, hey, here's Liquid IV. These are some of the things you need to know about Liquid IV, but this is who it could help and how it can help. This is how you can spread it and not be exclusive to just one golf club or just one cold plunge. And you can share and be honest and be sincere and authentic because you're just sharing what the product actually does. I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know.
And now with all these plunges and saunas and things like that, are these things like, is there any cost affiliated with that to you? Are you expected to return those products, or those products are sending you, they're like, give us a review, you own it now?
So I'm kind of at a point now where no one asks me for a review. But in the beginning, it wasn't either. Like it was like, hey, we want to send you product for you to use. We love what you're doing on YouTube and we just want to send you product. I'm like, cool. I wasn't being paid. They were sending me product. And like my story with Ice Barrel, I thought I had to send it back. Like I thought they were sending it to me to like use in a few videos and I had to send it back. And it turns out no, like they send them. I do. I have a crap ton of wellness products at my house. Like, and I've given a ton away. I don't like to sell them. I'm sorry. Like I know that's going to open up the can of worms. Like, oh, send me one. Let me have one. I really like to bless people I know could never afford one. And not to like call anyone out, but like I've given them away to people who are my friends and they have, 2 to 3 kids and they're a firefighter and they can barely pay their bills and they respect and love cold plunging. So like I'll give it to a first responder who I know could never really afford one, but I know would benefit tremendously from it and will use it. I've had family members that are like, hey man, when are you going to give me a cold plunge? And I'm like, you dip and don't care about your health at all. And no, and you could afford one. So go buy one.
Yeah.
Not anyone specific, but like I've had people in my family, not like my personal family, but like extended relatives that just think because I have them, I'm just going to give them to everybody. But no, I like to strategically bless people.
Hey, David, can I ask a question? Or does anyone else have a question? I know someone in the chat said they have a question. I'll go after them, actually.
Yeah, jump in, guys.
It's me though. I've talked enough. Go ahead, Kyle.
Dude, you got seniority, 100 million views.
You should be hosting this, bro.
No, I definitely should not.
This kind of falls to what you talked about earlier, though, Jacob. Like, for instance, I'm like, I gained some traction, and say a brand like a Rogue followed you on Instagram, and you already follow them, like you're a huge fan, and I've got some gym with a bunch of crappy equipment I bought on Facebook, and I'm starting to brewing up this idea of like, man, I really like to outfit my gym with the Rogue stuff. Just maybe that's not it, but I'm just trying to use an example. When someone follows you like that and you're kind of like nerd out, like how would you approach like playing it cool, but like I want to do something with you? So I don't know, it's like dating, but yeah.
Is that a question for me or Jacob? I was that geared towards me?
I guess both of you, whoever's had experience with it.
So I bought every piece of Rogue equipment that I have out there, and I've had some of them for 12 years. And it's the best. Like I've had other gym equipment that just isn't the greatest, and when I put my gym outside, like just so you guys know, if you like, there's definitely some hate comments from that reel I just posted about that. People are people, right? But when I put my gym outside, it wasn't like I was like, I'm gonna put my gym outside, it's gonna get destroyed, and I don't care. My buddy Eric Hinman, he's a good friend of mine. He lives in Colorado. He has a rig, the Castro rig. It's been outside for 3 years. And he's like, the only thing that hasn't, he FaceTimed me, like we talked about it. He's like, the only thing that shows any rust is like the J hook screw, but all it does is holds the plastic piece to the J hook, which is fine. On the bike, he has a bike, he has an assault runner. He's the OG of all this. I'm just recreating what he already did. He's like, I've had my runner for 2 years. It's outside. He showed me videos. It was buried in the snow to the screen. His assault runner was buried in the snow, and it still worked. Like spring came, the snow melted, and everything worked, and it was just fine. So I'm like, hey, like I'm gonna get some assault equipment, and like I want to put it straight up outside. Like, is this a bad idea? He's like, it's totally up to you, but I've had mine for 2 years in Colorado, and it still works just fine. So it was like a risk. Like it was like, all right, this is super scary. But I put everything out there because of some advice I got from my buddy, and I've been super stoked with it. Um, I posted about Rogue all the time. Like every time I would post a workout, I would always tag Rogue and I'd put it like really small. They never liked a post. They never reshared a post. They never commented. They never did any kind of engagement until one day they're like, hey, we love your gym and we want to showcase it on our stuff. And I did geek out. When I saw Rogue Fitness follow me, I screenshotted that and I shared it on my stories. I'm like, feel like I just won the lottery. Like I geeked out. I was so stoked. I did not hold my alcohol in well or whatever. Like I just totally nerded out. And I replied back, like, are you kidding me? I've been waiting I literally posted, I shared with them, I've been waiting my entire life for you guys to even acknowledge my existence. Yes, whatever you say, yes, I'm in. And it worked out. Like, do I think that turned into anything? I don't know. It didn't get a ton of views. It got like 15,000 views on their YouTube channel, not a crazy amount of comments, but Rogue shared my gym and like I got to wear my Jesus hat and talk about God on Rogue's channel. Like that was pretty cool. Like to me, that was a huge win and it was worth my time and my time investment. But no, I nerded out like crazy. And that's okay too. I think it's exciting. Like my buddy Shervin just shared that Andrew Huberman liked his reel. Like Andrew Huberman liked a reel he made and he screenshotted it and shared it and was like, I feel like I'm winning in life. I think we should. And honestly, in a world filled with like, we're like, look at this. There's still 21 people on this call and I'm so blessed and so grateful that everybody's still here. This is awesome. Like this is 20 more people than I thought were going to be on this. And like I think we should share each other's wins. Like, why not? Like I've made videos about that. Like, could you imagine if like the 20 people on this right here, if the 20 people on here literally just liked and commented on each other's posts for the next 2 weeks, what that would do for our engagement? Like it could be huge, but we don't. Like go back in. Here's the crazy thing. Go back to my reels, like the past 10 reels I've made, and look for someone in my direct family's like engagement. You won't find it. My own family doesn't engage in my posts knowing it's my full-time career, and their engagement would help push it to just a few more people, right?
Yeah.
But we as content creators have to understand like we're a BN or a BNI, like we're a business network group. Like we should be sharing, we should be liking, we should be commenting, even if it's a fire emoji, like that little 15 milliseconds it takes is just enough to kind of help a little bit, kind of help it get seen by more people. And if the 21 people on this call want to grow, that's what it's going to take. It's not going to take the 100 million viral views to make money. That looks really good and you're going to get a lot of brand opportunities from that, Jacob. But if you really want to make money, we have to be strategic. It doesn't need to be a massively viewed channel to make a lot of money. Like if you go to my YouTube channel, my average views are like 1,500. And not to boast, but like I posted it, I made just shy of $1 million last year, my first year as a full-time content creator. That's my only income.
Wow.
Insane, right? I don't
Yeah,
share that
that's
in
wild.
posts. I share that like, what the freak? It's
Yeah.
just getting started, right? Like
Yeah.
all the glory to Jesus, but holy smokes, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
That's awesome. That's
but everyone on here should be doing it. Everyone on here should be making it. If we're putting in the effort, we're putting in the work. I think there's just a teeny little bit of strategy that we need, just a teeny little bit of strategy that we need to all accept. And one of them is owning your links. Two is you need to be on YouTube. And Kyle, I saw your YouTube because it's linked on your bio. But it's for your brand, right? Like your wedding videos.
No, it's the videographer who filmed my 100 miler.
That was nice, dude. That's nice of you to share. Like that's the link on your bio.
Yeah, I need to, this is revolutionizing my brain here.
Okay, here's something you can do that's I think free. Linktree. Just go to
Yeah.
Linktree. You can have your videographer's YouTube in there too, but like have your own. Like have links to your brand, links to the brands you have affiliate deals with, links to your YouTube channel or your TikTok or any of the other social media platforms you have. And you should own that URL too. Like make it make it your name.com or whatever. So that's where you can share that across platforms and kind of like I started talking about it earlier, but you there's not going to be a lot of crossbreeding. Like I have an audience on Instagram that will never watch a YouTube video. I have a YouTube audience that will never watch an Instagram reel. I have a very, very, very tiny newsletter that I started like 2 months ago, and it's actually been really fun. I have 104 subscribers to that newsletter. Isn't that nuts? Like, that's it, 104. But I am passionate about it. I freaking love those 104 subscribers because they don't have to. Like, who reads anymore, right? But you're not going to get a ton of cross breeding. So, like, it's okay to have, and Jacob, kind of to your point, like, I hate TikTok. I have one because brands want to whitelist on TikTok. So it's the only reason I have a TikTok. I rarely ever post. And when I do, I get beat down because they get no visibility. My sister, however, loves TikTok. Like that's her platform. That's where she actually like can make a little bit of income and it's from TikTok, which is awesome. I keep trying to encourage her like, "Hey, that's great, but get on YouTube because it can be so much more." TikTok's her thing. It's kind of defeating when you get on Instagram or YouTube and you don't get the same amount of views. Like we all want that dopamine hit, right? Like we all love seeing the big, big, big reels like going viral. But at the end of the day, like I don't. I get excited going to my tiny URL and seeing how many people clicked a link because I know that that helped make a good decision. That helped somebody, whatever it was, help somebody decide that this was the best cold plunge for them or the best sauna for them or the best supplement for them. And they made a life-changing choice. That's kind of the thing that fires me up. But we all have to figure out what is our thing that we're super passionate about that we can monetize because it's going to be different for everybody.
Mhm.
And here's a quick thing everyone can do. Everyone can go to the Amazon, just go to Google and type in Amazon affiliate. It's free. If you have an Amazon account, plug in your Amazon account and sign up to become an affiliate. It's free and 99.9% of people get accepted into that. I personally make between $2,000 and $6,000 a month from Amazon, and I almost never talk about any of the products on Amazon. Insane, right? I'm not telling you that to boast. I'm not trying to sell you guys a course. I'm telling you that to freaking fire you up that it's possible. I rarely talk about anything on Amazon, but when I do, I have them. I have an Amazon affiliate link. Like someone's like, "Hey, where'd you get your aerial silks thing?" I send them the link. It's Amazon. It costs them no money, and I get a small commission. Kyle actually paid me because when he did my DIY using the Active Aqua Chiller, he probably used the link on my YouTube video and I got a small commission off of that. Hey, right? They're going to buy it anyway. They're already going to go to Amazon. I just made it easier for them and I got a commission. There's no harm in that, right? If we're making it easier for other people, we might as well get a little tiny commission from it. I swear by this tripod. It's the best tripod I've ever had. It works for my camera, my Osmo, and my phone. It's $30 on Amazon, and there are probably 200 of those sells a month. Doesn't make me a ton of money, everyone that buys, but it adds up. Like people are like, "Hey, where'd you get this? Where'd you get that? Where'd you get your mic? Where'd you get your?" Send them the Amazon link. My mom wants to buy something from Amazon, like a new toothbrush or something. Send her the Amazon link. I get a commission. She gets the link. She buys it. She's happy. I'm using my mom as an example. I think she's on this call actually. Um, but the Amazon affiliate is such a moneymaker. And there's two routes. One is you literally share the link, which you're already doing, kind of, or that's the plan. And two, you could review products. That's a whole game in itself, and that's hard to get approved. I'm approved on it, and it doesn't make you as much money. Like I could literally start a whole second job reviewing everything in my house that I bought from Amazon. And if someone watches that review and buys it, I get a commission. Do I make money off of that? Probably. Do I focus my time and attention on it? No, not anymore. But the Amazon affiliate links, like to everybody, like I have a friend that's a youth pastor. I'm like, dude, just sign up for the Amazon affiliate links. And when somebody says, "Hey, what Bible do you buy?" You already send them the Amazon link. You might as well get a commission for it because you're getting the Bible off of Amazon. And then boom, he does. Artie, what's up, dude?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Dude, doing great, man.
Good. Question for you for the Amazon affiliates piece.
Yeah.
So you don't need to make a deal with anyone. You just share the link of the product. You don't actually have to, I guess, communicate with that product to make a deal or anything.
No, not at all. So no, yeah. So you just go to Amazon. As long as you have an Amazon account, you go to Amazon affiliate, you register for it, and you're in. Then when you go to Amazon, even from like the app here, let me just go there real quick. So let's say I want to send someone, like let's say someone wants to buy this Kangen water filter. I was looking those up because everyone keeps asking about them. So if someone wants to buy this Kangen water filter, there's the little share button. If I click share, it says copy associate link there. I copy that associate link and I share it. That person clicks the link. It looks no different than if I wasn't an associate for this company. And you're an associate for every freaking brand. You guys want to get paid off of Ice Barrel? They're on Amazon. Become an affiliate for them. You don't have to be an affiliate for Ice Barrel and you can get paid. And if they buy the product within 30 days, you get a commission. It's different depending on what it is. I mean, they have everything: video games, camera equipment, gym equipment. It's Amazon. Every single thing. So you could literally start a YouTube video channel and just like reviewing products off of Amazon and get paid. People do that and they do pretty well.
David, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think to set up an affiliate account through through Amazon, don't you have to have a certain threshold of followers to be able to qualify for that, or no?
It's like 100. I don't know a single person who's ever not been approved.
Oh, I thought it was 10,000 followers. Okay, cool.
No, just recently. No, I don't. You might be right because they could have changed it. I hope that's not the case, but I don't think so. I don't know a single person who's ever been declined. And I'm talking like
my wife was.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
My wife was trying to set that up for me, and we kept running into like some system error and we couldn't figure it out. So
I had the same problem, Jacob. I don't know what it was. I've tried.
When did you try? I wonder if it was like just a window of time.
It's called the influencer program, which okay. I think the only threshold is you have to have a social media account.
Okay, cool. Question. Yeah. This is the question I wanted to ask you earlier. So when I said I'm not making any money, that was off of the one I posted 4 or 5 days ago. That went mega viral. But we do have a couple little contracts that we've signed with golf companies. One being, it's a company called Battle Royale. They sell that big Velcro frame. You hit Velcro balls at. Well, we signed a contract with them and they pay me $400 every reel that I post, which is great. But it pales in comparison to how much money Tyler has made them in 2024. So it's time. So they've already sent me 4 different contract options, and they're all fairly similar, but just based on the amount of content that I'm creating for them. And it's basically, they're not offering to pay me any more per reel than they were.
Are you getting no commission on sales?
No commission on sales.
Oh, bro, I would end the contract tomorrow. Like, just be like, hey, dude, it's not worth my time.
Dude, listen, like, they have 3 videos. They have one video that's at like 40 million views of Tyler just hitting on Battle Golf, right?
I watched it last night.
Every single comment is like, how do I buy it? 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 Dude, the amount of money they sold out every single time they got a new shipment, like immediately, because of, I talked to the CEO and he said,
hey, are they on Amazon? Like, is that product on Amazon?
I don't know. I think so.
So I had a similar situation with Danner pumps. They're the pump I highly recommend. I've recommended Danner pumps on DIYs for a long time. I've told brands like, hey, the only pump I haven't been able to break is a Danner, unless like my kid puts a toy into it, which has happened. Even that was hard to break, but it's a really solid pump, way better than the Active Aqua and Hydro Farm ones I was using in the beginning. But those were the only ones that I knew, like that were even available. Anyway, Danner pumps have been on Amazon for a long time, and because I'm on the Amazon affiliate program, not influencer, there's like 3 different programs on Amazon. The affiliate program is easy. You don't even need any followers. Actually, Todd just put that, and you're right. Um, they had their pumps on Amazon, and I had already been sharing. I actually had like my own link on tinyurl that's dmjr.co/pumps, and it's like the 3 different Danner pumps that I was using in my DIYs. They reached out and they're like, "Hey, we love your videos and we want to send you our new pumps. There are new cold plunge specific pumps." And I'm like, "Really? Cool. Like, what's the difference?" They're like, "Actually, nothing. Just the box. The box says cold plunge. Like, nothing is different. But we want you to just kind of like show it." And I'm like, "Okay, here's my rates. Like, it's already a pump I believe in and work and love. So why not get paid to keep talking about it?" The caveat they had, and this, the caveat they had is like they just wanted to pay me similar to that, Jacob. They just wanted to pay me. I said, okay, cool. I said, if you don't mind though, I'm going to share, like, I'm not going to send them to your website since you're all over Amazon. You guys care if I send them to Amazon? They're like, no, that's fine. Like, we don't care. Just like, we just want you to talk about our pump. So I got paid to make the video. And because they didn't want to pay me commission from them, I put my Amazon affiliate. So like it's not much money, but it adds up, So you're able to get paid the $400 per reel, which does not sound like enough at all. For the audience you're showing, like you should be getting $4,000 per reel is what it seems like with the amount of views you're getting. So I would renegotiate that. And honestly, I would walk away from it if it's like I would walk
Yeah.
away. I would just be like, hey,
I
like
would,
there's other products out there that are similar to yours that, I just don't, and this relationship just needs to end unless we can renegotiate the contract and it makes more sense for me and
okay.
the family. But then you could
I
also share that Amazon affiliate once you're an affiliate, and at least you're going to get something.
Yeah, that's good. I gotta run. I work in surgery, so I got a case that's about to start within the hour.
Good, man.
But I would love, I know you're a busy guy. I would love to chat with you for 2 minutes about renegotiating this contract with Battle Golf, just to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, bro. You got my number from Tyler, right? Just call me anytime.
Okay, I appreciate it, man.
All right, Jacob. God bless, bro. Have a great day.
God bless you guys too. Sorry I talked to everybody's ears off.
Good meeting you, brother.
I think it was good
Later.
stuff. Well, I don't need to bounce. So if anyone has more questions, let's keep going. Kyle, we, is there anything else that you had that like you have to ask? Because I want to make sure we knock it out.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I think let me think here. We already talked about someone following you. Like, I had Sornex, it's like a similar to Rogue, followed me, and so I'm just trying to think about like how to propose. Like, do you ever outreach? Hey guys, I love your product. I have 3 or 4 of these, and here's my idea. And do you just propose that over like something simple as like a message over Instagram? Do you ask who their marketing person is and go that way?
Nope. I
How do
would
you
just
do
send
it?
a simple, if they can't read it in like a second, it's too long. Just be like, absolutely love your stuff. Thanks for the follow. Boom. 90% of those, and you know how they say like most statistics are just made up on the spot. I'm making that up, but it's been a lot. Like any brand that I've reached out and said, dude, love your products. Super stoked to have you follow me. Shaka. I get,
Hmm.
hey, what's your address? I'd love to send you some. Like almost every time, except for Rogue. I think there's a threshold. Like the bigger brands
Yeah.
are probably less likely to send you product like that. Um, but slow play it. I mean, like obviously keep it fun, keep it light, keep it, like you're trying to get a date. You don't want to go
Yeah.
crazy and share, hey, I want to get married and have 3 kids, and I want to do it by the time we're X years old, and I want to have this amount of money in our bank account at the time so we can buy our dream house. That might scare them. So I wouldn't even share your ideas yet, but just kind of be like, hey, thanks for the follow. Absolutely love your brand. I've been a fan for a long time. And see what happens. They might not respond.
Yeah.
They might.
Okay.
Would you rather them not respond to that or not respond to your big, beautiful idea? I'd
Yeah.
rather not respond to the cute message than this big, well thought out plan. And dude, most of the brands I work with don't care about my plan. They don't even ask for it. There's like 2 brands I work with that even need to proof stuff, and it's just because like they have like legally binding verbiage that can't be shared or can be
Yeah.
shared or has to be. And I actually prefer not to work with brands that need any kind of approval process because it's freaking annoying.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would slow play, like just slow play and kind of just be nice about it and share that you like it. I have actually reached out to a few brands and they all seem to work out in a good way. Like I've been sharing pretty publicly that like I've been an ambassador or an affiliate with Huga, the red light therapy device, for years. I don't have a relationship with them. I don't know anybody there. I don't have a contact. There's no email. I'm not on an email list. I don't even know like how to communicate with them. And I've purchased every product that I have from them because I believe in their product, but they've changed and they no longer have the full body panel. They kind of went down to like the tiny panels. And if you want full body, you got to buy multiple of them. So I'm like, I got to find a product that's better. Like I got to find a better product. So I reached out to a company. I just sent them a little message. I was like, hey, I'm looking for a full body panel that I can share with my audience. And you seem to be one of the only brands that has it. Would you be open to a conversation? And within like an hour, I got a yes. What's your email address? So yeah, there's definitely a space. Don't feel like you can't reach out. Like some of these brands too, like I had never heard of this brand until I started researching it. And I'm in this space, like, so I was able to have a conversation with the creator and founder of the brand. And I'm like, dude, I'm in your arena and I never even heard of your product. Like my entire audience probably would love to hear about your product. And we don't have a deal yet. I actually just did a 3-minute YouTube video on them yesterday where I'm just sharing like, hey, kind of just sharing. Like I no longer can really recommend Huga's full body panels because they don't have them. I'm seeking another brand. Here's the brand that I spoke to and they seem legit. I don't have the product. This isn't a review, but if you want to check it out, here's the link. I use my tiny URL, dmgr.co/Mito. I shared it yesterday and I'm curious how many people have actually clicked that link, but now I can share that like, hey, we don't have a deal. I don't have your product. We don't have anything, but I shared your link. Doesn't do anything yet, but I shared your link in one video and it got 50 clicks. That's something to a brand. And I'm doing that on my own free will. Like I'm not getting paid to do it. It's taking extra work, but to me, it's potentially worth it because that could lead into a brand deal or at least a free, some free product that I already want. Like also seek the products you want. You know what I mean? Like if it's in your wheelhouse and it's something you want to talk about and it's a brand you like, reach out to those brands. I don't think there's a problem with it. Don't reach out. So just so you guys know, I'm also like, I have a manager who manages a lot of big affiliates or I'm sorry, whatever we are, influencers. And she was the affiliate manager for a large brand. And she's like, you'd be surprised how many of these people with like 150,000 followers would literally just send an email, like blast an email out to everyone they can and be like, hey, looking to do a reel with you guys this month. My rates are $10,000 for a reel. And just hope somebody responds. To me, that's freaking nuts. Like, would anybody respond? And apparently people do. Like, that's the crazy thing is some brands do.
That's wild.
So I think if you play it like the right way, like if you're nice about it and you're like, hey, I actually like your product, that could lead to something.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You're awesome.
I've got a meeting to go to, but man, this has been beautiful. I want everyone else to get their questions in, so I'm gonna bounce. But thank you, David. Very grateful for you, brother.
Grateful for you too, brother. You're gonna crush it. Let's keep on crushing, man.
I have more questions offline, but this was really great.
Thanks, man. Actually, I recorded this too, so hopefully, I don't know what I'll do with it, but put it on like an OnlyFans account or something.
There you go.
I'm just kidding.
Awesome, man. Awesome, dude. All right. Well, yeah, thanks. I'll shut up now.
Later, bro.
All right,
if
see
anybody
y'all.
else has a question, feel free to unmute. And like I said, new to this whole Zoom hosting thing. So let's just rapid fire. Let's go.
So David, you've heard, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. What's up, Todd?
Okay. So we've heard from a lot of people that seem to already be like established, on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. Take somebody like myself. I'm just getting started on YouTube. Like I've got 8 videos. What would your advice be to really get going? Just keep chugging along and making the videos we like.
Yep.
Or what would you say to that?
So have you had any videos do well yet?
What do you mean do well? I've had 24 views. I think 26 views on one of my, talk from the cold plunge videos.
I love that. So look at this, right? We have 17 people on this call right now. I am fired up. This whole call has got me so freaking fired up. I love it. 17 views. That's what I have right now. 17 views.
Right.
So having 24 views is a lot. Like we don't think it is because we're hearing numbers like I've never had a video get 100 million views. That's insane. But sometimes we get a little bit like, oh man, like you get discouraged because you're not seeing Mr. Beast style numbers. 26 people intentionally clicked on your video and watched you share advice from the cold plunge. Like, that's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah. So don't let me misrepresent. I'm ecstatic that 26 people looked at it. So
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Keep going. So just keep going. Like this whole game, it's not really a game, but it is. It's like investing, you know, like wherever your energy flows or your focus goes, your energy flows, and like you'll see compounding success. Like my wife started her YouTube channel last summer. She's actually going to leave her teaching job and do this with me. Like we're going to just do this together after this year's over. Super excited about
that's
that.
awesome.
Nervous, excited, all the feelings because, you know, there are perks with her being a teacher, insurance, all that stuff for kids. She's at the school with the kids, all of that. So there's some risk versus possible reward. So she started a YouTube channel over summer, no intentions of becoming rich and famous, but just wanted to like share what I'm sharing, but to a woman audience from a woman, right?
Right.
She has 4 videos, 100 subscribers, and her biggest video is a cold plunge video where we're together, and it has like 4,000 views, which is awesome. She hasn't posted a video since summer. So there's no reason for anybody to subscribe to her channel, which means there's no reason for anybody to keep going back and watching her videos, right? Todd, all you have to do is stay consistent. I have 750 videos on YouTube and and like I'm not stopping. Like my goal is to put 10 to 20 videos a month on my YouTube channel. And I can, like, that's what I'm doing right now. So I would keep going, just keep posting. Don't get discouraged. Keep posting. Maybe the number one advice on YouTube is to make the first 200 characters or words in your video description are going to have the highest weight on search. The title is going to have the second highest weight on search. And then it's automatically going to dub your entire video. And that is going to go into the search as well. So for YouTube, make sure that you're sharing vocally on the actual video, in the description and on the title, what the video is about, and kind of have a clear-ish direction. Unless it's like a podcast style, like, you know, where you have somebody asking you questions or you're answering a bunch of random questions, try to have like a theme on YouTube.
Right.
You notice a lot of people got massive audiences by doing like a cold plunge a day on Instagram. And there's really no like theme.
Yeah.
Cold plunging every day, talking about whatever they want to talk about, which is cool. I never did that. Probably should have, probably missed opportunity. But on YouTube, I don't know if that would have the same effect. I don't know if that would turn into something big. I think the reason that my YouTube channel turned into something successful is because I was helping educate people on how to start cold plunging themselves. So maybe like
Yeah.
maybe in your videos, like just share, like, this is how I got started cold plunging. These are the benefits I've experienced cold plunging. And this is why I'm sharing my experience of cold plunging, because I want to help other people. I think giving people that, you're giving them some value, right? Something they can walk away from and be like, oh, that was a good video. I got something from that. That's going to keep them coming back. That's going to have them watch your next video and have them subscribe.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's kind of how I started in this. Is when I was looking to start cold plunging, I was looking for specific information. You know, just like you say, I was going to YouTube. I was looking for very specific information. In fact, I even reached out to you on Instagram and we chatted a little bit.
Yep.
Because I had narrowed it down to the desert plunge. It was the mod plunge, and then desert plunge came out with the executive and the wide.
Yep.
So I went to them, but I was worried about my shoulders being too wide for the executive. And but I could never find a video with a bigger guy in a cold plunge. It's always these super fit dudes in a cold plunge.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? We need this information out there because there's a lot more of us bigger guys than there is these super fit guys. So then my kids and wife are like, yeah, do the video. It should be great.
Let's go, bro. Love that.
Yeah. So
love that.
So I appreciate it. Appreciate the information and the encouragement.
Dude, keep going, man. So it's so cool. So like, you guys know Evan Slaughter, Fit to Serve on Instagram? He's the bigger dude who kind of got popular.
Oh yeah. A
little sexual and kind of goofy. Like, he's just hilarious. He's a comedian. Dude, it's so cool to see. Like, I remember when he first came on the scene, he had like 20,000 followers on Instagram. Now he's got like 200,000. And he made his audience from making fun of himself for being so big, but he's rubbing shoulders with all these fit dudes so long. He's in the wellness community. He's naturally just getting healthier. You know what I mean? Like, it's so cool to see his life change so much and how it's inspiring so many other people too. I think more people who aren't fit need to be putting their, like, exposing what they're doing in their life and what's helping out there, because it's helping more people than I think you'll ever even realize.
Right, right.
Dude, it's awesome. And like you said, I try to tell, like, hey, I'm 6'1", 215 pounds. This is how tall I am, how wide I am. I like to show it because I am larger than some, but like, I think it's great to have different sized people get into these cold plunges, because it is different. Like, even my torso is a different length than another 6'1" person. So me,
Right.
to the Ice Barrel 500, I can contortion myself and get underwater, but other people who are 6'1" might not be able to, because most of my
Right.
length from my hips down. But no, that's awesome, Ty. I would just keep going, dude. Just keep going. You're gonna get better over time too. Like, your videos will just get better. That's like you do anything. Anything you do, your videos are gonna get better. You're gonna learn something new on your camera or your mic that's gonna just sound better. You're gonna make adjustments. It's so cool to go back and watch videos I did just a year ago compared to today, and it's like, man, like, I wish I knew then what I know now, but then we wouldn't have
Yeah,
learned.
and you could tell. And
Thanks,
you
man.
can tell because I've watched a lot of your older videos, and like I watch a lot of your videos, but you can, and it's just a natural progression, right?
Yep,
You're just constantly wanting to get better and things like that. So
exactly.
something new that my kids and wife have encouraged me to do is do a TikTok as well.
Nice.
So it's totally different. I link my TikTok back to my, Dad Life with Big Todd YouTube page. But what I do is in the morning, because I cold plunge at 4:30 every morning,
Awesome.
and I'll read our church quote of the day.
Love
And then
that.
in the evening, I try to wrap it up with reading a scripture a day and just send that out,
Dude, I
because I want to
love
get
it.
that message out too.
Let's
That's
go.
one of my, that's, family, church. That's what we're about. So,
Love it, bro. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop. And remember,
all
you're not
right.
doing it to become rich and famous and make a bunch of money and become a
Right.
you're doing it as a home video that you and your kids are proud of it, right? Like, your kids are giving you that idea. How proud are they gonna be? Like, even let's just think about this too. Like, let's think one day my parents aren't gonna be here anymore. How am I gonna? We don't have the camcorder and the VCR and the home videos like Christmas 2030. We don't have that. This is our home video. This is our memories. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, the videos I'm making on YouTube primarily are to help people make decisions on what product to buy, blah, blah, blah. But my kids are in a lot of the videos, and the vlogs I'm making are the ones that fire me up the most. Like, I cannot wait to see this vlog with me and my son snowboarding. It was his first time ever skiing. He crushed it. I am so excited to watch that. I'm excited to watch that video in 10 years. Like, making
Oh
these
yeah.
videos, and like, who knows what life's going to look like 5 and 10 years from now, but Lord willing, we're going to be able to go back into our YouTube videos and like sort by oldest and watch our videos and see just where we started and reflect on that. It's, to
Oh
me,
yeah.
it's the most exciting thing, like, to look forward ahead. Like, I'm most excited to look back and see where we were, like where our family was 5, 10, 15 years prior.
Yeah, that's really cool. I figured I was doing okay when I had 17-year-old daughters, a junior in high school, was like okay with being on a video.
That's,
So
you're winning,
I figured
bro.
I was all right then.
You are winning, dude. And think about it. Like, she's probably sharing that with her friends. Like, look at my dad. He's a YouTuber. My kids love that I'm a YouTuber. Like, I'm a leader at church for the 7th grade boys, and they love
Mhm.
me because I'm a YouTuber. Like, they don't love me for any other
That's
reason.
awesome.
Our leader's a YouTuber. Like, they just get so fired up about it. It's funny. I don't know. It's so cool just to, like, I don't know. It's just cool.
It's neat.
It is.
Well, thank you for being a pioneer in it for around here. I don't know. I'm over on the Space Coast.
Let's go.
Um, just appreciate you doing a Zoom call. I've been looking forward to this since I saw it.
Absolutely, bro. And we'll do more. I mean, this seems like this was something helpful. We still have 16 people on, so I'm gonna let, if anyone else has any questions, let's rock and roll. I'm gonna try to get off at 1:30 so I can head to my daughter's track meet. I'll definitely make it to her track meet, but definitely want to get to any other questions here.
I have
a quick question,
Yeah,
Dave.
David, I
Oh,
have a question for you. Back in 2000, I'm kind of like Big Todd, but he's more advanced than I am. I really don't have social media. Back in 2018, I broke my legs, and through that painful journey, God really put an ember in my heart to stop taking my health for granted. So I've been on this health journey, and I had screws and rods put in my legs, and it was awful. But since then, God's healed me, and I have done 5 half Ironmans and a full distance Ironman. And I'm trying to figure out how to get started in this content generation, but not necessarily to make money like you are doing, but just to kind of maybe document and use it as a way to glorify God through this healing process and through this through this desire to not take my health for granted. And I've watched so many of your videos. Like all my kids know you through me always watching your videos, and it's been a great experience. And I'm about to buy probably both a cold plunge and a sauna for a home gym. And so I'm thinking like, hey, I don't have much today as far as content generation and social media, but maybe I could, if I do something like that, use that to start. Like, hey, here's how I got started in a cold plunge, and here's what I ended up buying for a cold plunge. Here's the benefits I received, stuff like that. Is that a logical way to think about that?
Yeah. So, all right, there's a lot of authentic YouTubers that have jumped on YouTube, have no subscribers, and do just what you're talking about. They share a journey that they've gone through as a wise human being who's been through it. That those videos are going crazy because we don't see that a lot. A lot of it is like Mr. Beast style, super entertaining, super fast paced, super, like a lot of screen movement. And like you see this, there's this guy, I don't know his name. I'm horrible with it, but you've probably seen it. Like there's this gentleman who's sitting out on his farm and he's sharing wisdom. He's like sharing life. And the videos are hitting millions of views because people are like, they need that. We need that, right? Like here's a crazy stat, right? So this guy's got, this guy's got videos where he's sharing life wisdom. He's sharing life wisdom, and he's, let's say I think one of his videos has like 50 million views, or every video gets hundreds of thousands or millions of views, and he's sharing real life wisdom. Like Fox News on a normal segment gets like 300,000 views. Like Fox News, like CNN is getting like 60,000 views in a normal 30-minute segment. This guy's sharing for 10 minutes and getting 1 million views because he's sharing real, authentic life. What's up, bro? Go ahead and open the garage and you can grab some power lift. What's up, brother? Love you, man. Yeah, just grab like 3 cases if that's cool. 3 or 4. All right, bud. But like that's what people need, is they want that real. Like we don't know who to trust anymore. So the fact that we can just grab this and share our life's wisdom, we don't have cue cards. We're not reading a well thought out teleprompter telling us what to say. We're just sharing our real life. Like people, we want that, like we desire that. So I wouldn't even overthink it. I would just grab your phone, turn it around. Always use this camera. Don't use the front. I made that mistake. This camera is way better on YouTube. And flip it sideways, horizontally, and just film yourself talking. Talk for 8 to 12 minutes and do it right here in your, like, not while you're driving, but like, there's like, just share. Here's the thing. Here's how I look at it too. Like a lot of the stuff I share is on specific products, but when I share like from my heart, my prayer is that like God controls the algorithm. He controls who gets served that video. And if one person watches this video where I'm sharing my heart and testimony and how things in my life have changed, if one person watches that video and it changes the course of their life for the better, man, that's a win. They don't need millions of views to be a win in my book. And I think everyone on this call has a testimony and some kind of wisdom they can share with somebody around the world. Like you don't know if it touches somebody in India, somebody in Australia, somebody around the world can watch that video and it changed one little thought they've had and it reset the course of their life. Like that to me is the number one reason everyone should start making videos. It's not become rich and famous. It's to share with that one person on the other end of the world that needs to hear from you.
Yeah, that's
and
so good.
You know what the great thing, Nathan, is? Right now, you're at the position, you're at a great position. You're starting at the beginning. You have a little bit of a backstory with, breaking your legs and things like that. But you haven't purchased, you're researching, you can do all kind of videos and do videos on the smallest little pieces of it too. You've got a ton of content you can put out there.
Yeah. No, I like that, and I like Big Tom how you shared about sharing your verse of the day. I'm very active in my church. I've been an adult Sunday school teacher for 17 years.
Just share. So I think that like the vlog style sharing is key, but I think sharing that, sharing your story, like once again, not to become rich and famous, but to document your
Yeah,
journey. There's something about
yeah,
accountability too. Like when you're sharing stuff, like I shared I want to learn how to do a backflip. I didn't do that for you guys. I did it for me. I did it because if I didn't, because for the past 15 years I've wanted to do a backflip in the ground, but I never told the world. And by sharing it, I felt like I had to, and it forced me to. I did a backflip. I did a backflip on the
that's
grass.
good.
Freaking
That's
stoked.
good.
Like my kids are blown away. They're like, "How did you do that?" They're in competitive. They're like, "How are you the first person in our family to land a backflip?" Like I'm 215 pounds. There's nothing that makes sense about that. But
Yeah,
having accountability too, like where you're sharing a verse of the day, or even if it's not committing to like that indefinite end, like I'm sharing a verse every single day, even if it's just doing it, just doing it, something that you feel is right, something that you feel is helping other people. Um, that gives you the reason to do it. That gives you the reason to keep on.
yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to open up to maybe like two more questions. If anybody who's still on has a question, throw it out there.
I got one, man.
Let's hear it, Patrick.
All right, so I gotta first off for all you guys that met up, the bunch of randos on the internet. My hat's off to you. It takes a little slice of courage just to show up, turn that camera on. I checked it out. I just turned it on like 20 minutes ago. But you guys for showing up. Dave, thanks for throwing this up, man. So I'm just like an Instagram guy. I'm an X-ray tech, and I've been putting in the work for a couple years now, and just completely pursuit of passion. I love editing. I like videography, photography, and I like my job too. Doing X-rays. I made so one of my peeps probably X-rayed your leg, Nathan, whenever you went through all that. So I've established like a pretty decent sized following, and my mindset watching you, watching other folks. I work for a small family-owned business. I was completely content just creating. That was my complete intent. But in that process of creating, I've amassed a pretty decent audience. And I'm not like an entrepreneurial guy. My dad was military. We were enlisted, worker bees. But now my mind shift has changed. I'm like, hey, you know what? Why not? Why nobody else is really doing this that much in my little niche of radiology. Let me see if I can make this a business. And make a couple bucks. That's cool. That's awesome. But I want to show my kids that, hey, you can create a business. I never saw that. I never spent any time around entrepreneurs. Again, we were just kind of worker bees. So my main motivation was, hey, let me give the boys an example. And they're already kind of like getting the bug a little bit. They got the lemonade stand in the garage still. But you know a lot of folks that are in social media and influencers, as cringe as it feels to say, but it is what it is. What other ways are there to monetize that aren't necessarily product driven that you've seen people be successful with?
So there's a lot of ways. There's an unlimited amount of ways. I mean, people can create digital files, something that could be helpful or useful to an audience, ebooks, just taking what you know about your field and putting it into an easy to read, easy to digest book. People will
Hmm.
pay for that. Having a newsletter that's paid, having paid memberships where they have like maybe your current audience gets the overview of everything, but if you pay for a
Hmm.
membership, you get like a little closer, closer to home. I guess I would have to really like dissect your content and like what
Hmm.
your audience is really looking for. But like maybe the number one thing, because if this is a question anybody else has, I don't want to like, I'm not offering my service to go and like look through everybody's Instagram and figure out what your business should be. But maybe think this: if you're constantly posting stuff, what's like the question people are asking you a lot? Is it
Hmm.
like think about a question you're constantly getting either in the comments or on the DM or whatever. If there's a
Good point.
so like for me, when I first, once again, similar to you, I just started posting. I built a chicken coop. I built a crypto mining shed, and then I built a cold plunge. And that's what I was passionate about. I love my chickens. They're my babies. I love bees. I love my, I kind of decommissioned my crypto mining when crypto went to crap and power bill went up. But like I learned a lot. It was really cool. but I was really passionate about the cold plunge stuff. And the question I kept getting is like, hey, I love this. Where do I buy the chiller? Where do I buy the pump?
Mm,
How do I build this? And I wasn't like, there's some that like make a lot of money by selling the kit PDF, like basically not the kit PDF, but the like the plan, like the DIY
mhm.
guy, his whole career is off of selling his plans, which is great. And then I'm sure he gets the affiliate income off the stuff too. But you getting the question from somebody like, hey,
Okay.
content, how do I do this? Or if they're asking you a question, like that's where you can monetize because you're helping somebody. And you don't have to like
Mhm.
10 grand and I'll answer your question, but make a couple bucks here and let it be something that's helpful and useful, like sharing your link on Amazon. That's a quick way to make some money. If
Nice.
product on Amazon that you're recommending, if it's literally like some literature, put it on Canva and sell that as an e-doc. There's a
Mm.
lot of way. Honestly, you can monetize anything now, and it's easy. Like just go to Google and how do I monetize a newsletter? How do I monetize a ebook? Boom. Like
Okay.
you'll have so many ways. And with AI, it's so easy now too. Like you can take an AI, like you can have AI help you build this monetization. You could actually go to ChatGPT right now and ask it like, hey, look through my entire social media account. What are the top 3 ways that I can monetize? And then boom, like obviously there's a little more to that prompt, but it'll
Sure.
share 3 really specific ways, and you can get super granular that you can monetize your audience.
Okay, cool. Man, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it, Dave.
Absolutely, brother. Anybody else got a good one? I hate ending these, just so you know. Like I'll sit here all day. Text me, she's like, "Hey, are you gonna make it?" Of course, I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, get out of here, man. It's 1:30, dude. Get out of here. I get it. You got to make it to the track, man. I really appreciate it though, dude. It was
I've
awesome
honestly
talk,
got
very
like
motivational, very inspirational.
I've got like another 5 minutes. So if anyone has a
Okay.
question, feel free to throw it out there.
Don't be scared. Unmute that mic and let it out, fellas.
So Patrick, before you go, before
Yes,
I quit my job, like I had to figure out my life, like I had to figure things out. So I ended up
bro.
paying to get on one of these calls with Carlton Dennis. He's like
Hmm.
the tax coach. Because
Yep.
like I was a W-2 employee for my entire life, and I was about to switch
Yes.
to full 1099, like self-employed.
That's what I'm dealing with right now. Yeah.
It was scary, right? So like I was like, this is an investment, but it's something I feel like I need to do. I felt right. So similar to what you are saying, I paid a lot of money to be on one of these calls. Like I paid 5 grand to be on a call. And I was scared to freaking death. There was like 300 people on the call, and I was super scared to death to like ask a question that was specific
Yeah.
to me. But I'm sitting here like, dude, like I paid this. I'm gonna ask this question, dude. As soon as I hit like the hand raise, I felt all the feelings. Like felt like I was about to
Yeah.
faint.
Yeah.
Felt it all because I was
Oh,
like,
it's the worst.
I don't know who's on this call, who's gonna be judging me. I didn't know.
Nobody cares.
I'm so glad I asked the question because it truly like catapulted me and it helped me out so much. So if anyone has a question, just ask. Like seriously, I want to help. And this isn't going to be the last one. I actually really enjoyed this, so maybe we'll do
That's
this a
awesome.
few more times. Matt, I see you on there, dude. Anything? Daniel? There's a few more people.
I got
Gotcha.
something, I guess. I'm like very, very basic in this whole content. I'm basic nothing. I've done nothing in content creation. But with my fitness journey and stuff, I always have people like, I think I mentioned that to you once. I have a garage gym. I have people everywhere every Sunday to work out with me constantly. And I'm a therapist too. I teach group therapy. So I have people like, how do you get fit? How do you do this stuff? And like, I'm always answering these questions. I've cold plunged for a year now. I'm very addicted. I haven't got the desert plunge, which is what I want. But like, I know there's a way to get a side income. I love my job, but I'm like, how can I help out my family and provide even more? And I don't know. I guess I'm afraid to do the first step, but is the first step just literally getting a tripod, the $30 tripod you're saying, and you said horizontal viewing it and just start doing my daily life, like when I walk the dog, when I do this stuff, like I crush my steps too. Like that's the first step, and then uh, slowly over time, obviously you said with the compounding of videos and stuff, that will just create the momentum of stuff reaching out, or the views can create a monetization or something. I don't need like, I say I don't need a lot of money, but I would like to provide more for my family than just my
Sure.
full-time job. So
So Matt,
that's where I'm at. And
let me give
that's,
you an idea that I think you could do tomorrow. Yes, just grab your phone. You don't even need a tripod. Just grab your phone, get familiar filming yourself like this. Use 0.5 if you need to make sure you fit in the frame. It doesn't matter. As long as you have the camera somewhat close, make sure you can hear it. So maybe test it a few times, make sure your audio is good. You want to speak loud enough to where they can hear it if you don't invest in a mic or anything like that. And you don't need all that stuff. I started making thousands of dollars a month using nothing but an iPhone 13 mini. And I used
I had the mini too, Dave. I just upgraded.
I love the mini. I hope they come out with another small one. But like I ended up getting the big one.
iPhone 4 is my favorite, the heaviest, and they were small. That was
Yes,
my
they were
favorite.
so good. They're just getting, I don't know. But anyway, literally just film yourself a few small things and just start with like, these are 3 questions that I get on a regular basis. I just wanted to make a video to kind of help. And then boom, what are the first 3 things you should do to start feeling better and living a fit life? Whatever the question is, reframe the question. And then first thing I try to do is always try to hit 10,000 steps. I know it's cliche. I know a lot of people talk about it, but here's some ways that you might not think about it that can help get you to 10,000 steps. Take your dog for a walk instead of letting him out. Walk through the mailbox, sending your kids. Take your trash can out yourself, and then go get it. If your kids want to be tucked into bed, walk to each of their beds individually and bring them a cup of water. That'll get you to and from the kitchen. I'm just sharing.
Yeah.
Great idea. But then here's the secret sauce, Matt. When people ask you, say, hey, I just made a really cool video on YouTube. Would you mind watching it? It answers all of your questions. And now you have your audience that's getting your time for free, at least watching your YouTube video, which is going to at least show the algorithm your videos are worth showing to other people, which is going to eventually help that get spread to the people who aren't just asking you. And like, hey, I get this question a lot, so I actually made a YouTube video on it. It's 5 minutes long. Watch it. Watch it. If you have any questions, then ask me. And boom. You're not being rude. You're not being, you're not selling something. It's free. Like, they don't have a YouTube account to watch it, and they're watching that video. They're getting the value of the answer you're giving them. And then it's showing YouTube. You're being rewarded because YouTube's like, oh, shoot, someone watched this guy's video. He has 0 subscribers, but someone watched his video for the entire thing. Oh, no, another person just watched his video. Okay, this guy's onto something. Let's share it with more people who are asking the same question. And then boom, YouTube does its thing. And next thing you know, you've got 100 subscribers. And next thing you know, you're getting 20 views and you're getting 100 views. And next thing you know, you become like, that's how it worked for me. Like next thing you know, a brand was reaching out and saying, hey, we love your cold plunge videos. We want to send you one. And I was like, what? Okay. You never know until you try. And like, they say the journey to 10,000 steps starts with 1 step, right? You just got to start.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Good question, brother. All right. Room for one more, and then I'm going to roll. This is crazy. This went 2 hours. I am so freaking pumped. Like, so cool. Dan, you got a question, dude? You look like you got a question, man.
I don't have a question, honestly. I just wanted to share that, like, I had a conversation. Well, last night I was just kind of discouraged and had a conversation even with my wife this morning just about like putting content out there to help people, content that people like in my Instagram like poll. I'm like, do you want me to share this? And they're like, yes. And then like none of those people engaged with that content when I shared it. And I'm like, this is super frustrating. Like I'm trying to help people, trying to inspire, and they say they want it, and then they won't like it or share it. And friends, family, like people that are like, I'm cheering for you, I'm rooting for you, and then they don't do anything with it. And you're like, okay. So like being on this call is just like super encouraging and like fires me up. So thank you.
Bro, like my mom was on this call. So my mom, who is a master of so many things, like she is amazing. She has so much value to share, but she's just doesn't. She just won't. I don't know if she's still on it. Mom, if you're here, I love you. But share, freaking share. You have so much wisdom and you're so afraid of family members that mean nothing, like literally mean nothing and won't even watch your videos. Like they don't care. Like my best friends from the car business won't watch any of my videos. They actually want me to fail. They do. I know they do because they don't engage with anything. They used to be the first people to engage with every post I made before I quit. Second, I step out in faith and do this, they're gone. Family will not support you. If anyone here has family supporting you, like socially, you are winning on a whole new scale. I don't. My family I'll talk to my brother and my sister every day on the phone, and they're all on social media. They'll never comment. They'll never like. They'll never reshare. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe they subconsciously are just like mad that they didn't do it. what I'm trying to say is don't share for the people, share for the person. Share for one. Like when you look in that camera and you're making a video, make it for one person. And it's a thankless job. It's just like being a parent. Like you're making one video to help one person at some area of the world, and you'll never hear from them. I know that's everything against like the algorithm and how we get more engagement. Like we want
No,
like
that's true
shares,
advice.
comments. But if you're sharing content, like you said, Daniel, that's helpful, that you know is helping, we can't get caught up in the view trap. I did. I went to Vid Summit and was surrounded by content creators that were getting millions of views on every video, and they were making $5,000 a month. I was making videos that were getting 500 views, and I was making $15,000 a month. Like, and it's not about the money specifically, but when you're giving value, you're not going to get a lot of views. I think Alex Hormozy says that too. He's like, you honestly shouldn't have viral videos if you want to give value. Like valuable information is not easily digested, right? Like we could give free value on the internet all day long and nobody do anything with it. The second we sell a course for $15,000, the person who buys it, they do it because they spent the money, right? So, and I'm not saying sell a course for $15,000. I'm just saying like when we give valuable information, we cannot be expecting a lot in return. We just have to kind of get back to the basics and think, I'm making this video for one person who will never say thank you. And that's fine. I'm excited about it. And just like the best advice I can give, because it was very discouraging for me. The second I was very like I had 4,500 followers on Facebook. I didn't even have an open Instagram like I shared, and I didn't have YouTube. And every post I would make that was car business related would get thousands of views on Facebook, right? And so many likes and so many wonderful, loving comments and blah, blah, blah. If I post on Facebook today, you know how many likes it gets? Maybe two, like zero. Like everybody in the car business that was my best friends in the whole wide world, they secretly want me to fail. They will not engage with anything that I do. It's just how it is. And guess what? I have new friends. Like God has taken this plant and put me in a whole different garden with a whole bunch of new like-minded people. And man, like today I had two strangers come over and work out with me at my house, and we had a blast. And it's like we're like-minded. Like these are two people who I would never work out with. I would never cold plunge with. I would never know anything about. And God's put them in my life. He's put us in each other's lives for a reason, to encourage each other, Daniel, to just keep going. If you
Let's
share
go.
valuable information, let him put it in the right ears. Like let him put the information in front of the right people. And it may not be a ton, but it will be somebody and it will mean something.
It's awesome. Thank you.
Love
Thanks
it.
for that.
Well, I'm going to roll. Love you all. Crush it, man. Like everybody who stayed on this call for 2 hours, seriously, like God is going to bless you. I know it. It's going to be wonderful. Let's do this again. And reach out to me on Instagram if you have any questions, like specifically. I'm going to jump in an Uber. I like Ubering to the kids' school because then I can drive home with the family. So I'm going to jump in an Uber and head to this track meet. So I'll probably have some time to respond. If anyone has anything they want to share, feel free. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
Sweet. Thanks, man. Y'all take it easy.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Later.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Later, fellas.